Hey everyone, welcome to Paternity University. This is a really special episode because this is a student success series. I'm here with Roscoe Cartwright III of Paternity Testing Solutions, and we're just going to do a catch-up conversation. He was the first ever student to get the private coaching. He was the first on, what was it, around October of 2022?
Yeah, I know I got the course in October, I believe, and then the coaching started November, December-ish, something like that.
November, December, like
Yeah.
December, or it might have been like December 2nd,
Yeah.
2022, and now it's December 3rd, 2024. So this is 2 years, pretty much two years later. And so if you haven't already, go ahead and check out his video. I'm going to have it linked right here. So you can check it out. I'm going to have it in the show notes as well. Check out his original video. That was done maybe a few months after you started, right, Roscoe? Like a couple of months after you started.
Yeah, that was because we interviewed because I just think back to that moment, man. It's like going back to the mentality that I had then was a whole different ball game. And to think that I was taking risks, taking shots, and one of them landed. You said, "Oh no, we're gonna put this on tape," and that's how kind of ended up happening. That was one of my first clients that I had that we did that
and we
that
and we will we're going to get right into it. So first, for the people who don't know who you are, Roscoe, go ahead and let them know who you are, where you're located, and what you do.
well, my name is Roscoe. I live in the Dallas area, so I've been man, I had a had one of those situations where I did trying to bake shop be nice. I developed a very high disdain for the people that I was working for. But yet I didn't have any way of saying that, yeah, you owe me more money. Yeah, you should pay me more money. I had no way of saying that. So I said, what can I do? And along the way, I prayed about it first and foremost, and I got some answers very quickly. And I started a fingerprinting business and had a magnificent role model. It helped me through that whole thing, mentored me and took me by the hand. And as I was building that, not ever having any business at all or ever working for myself and never having any idea what was going on, I had the right people around me. And then I saw one of your videos, and I tell this story to people all the time. I say, I remember you saying, guys, I was on vacation. I answered the phone on vacation. Yeah, I did. And I made it $400, hung up the phone, went back to my vacation. And I said, whatever you're doing right there, yes, exactly that. And I immediately saw, I saw the video, I think that you had one of the first ones with Dan Jerkowitz. I'm
Yep.
like, yeah, yeah, okay, I'm not really into it. But that video where you said you never know what's going to reach a person. And when you did that video, I said, I don't care what it is. You show me how to do it, and we're going to do it. So I've been in business now. I started my third year. It's crazy to say that this is now my third beginning for New Year, and the things that I've learned in the last 2 years have been absolutely incredible. You can't make up half the stuff I've dealt with, but I needed it. It hasn't always been pleasant. I mean, being an entrepreneur, I can tell you that I understand wholeheartedly why people are not entrepreneurs. I
Hmm.
I get it now, but it's so freeing. But if you're going to be free, it ain't gonna come easy if you're going to be truly free. And so if
Hmm.
there's nothing I haven't learned, I learned that concept and living it and looking forward to see what's going to happen next in the next year. So
That's so dope, man. So, tell us about your your first test that you did, just in brief detail, because you go into it in the other video, but kind of retell it and then just reflect on that first year in business. So
so the first,
first test and then your first year in
oh Lord,
business.
man. Well, the first test, I mean, yeah, the first DNA test was one thing, but it was the first test of me saying, okay, I trust this guy I've never met before. That was my first test. Do I trust what's really going on? Do I trust what he's saying and trust his concept? So that was really kind of the first test for me. But going into the actual physical, doing the first DNA test it was scary. I mean, I think at that point I'd watched and gone through the course 3 times,
Mm.
and even then, as I'm going to this first paternity test, I remember pulling around the corner. I was there an hour and a half early, and I had my laptop streaming it from my hotspot, watching the video again of how you laid everything out for your test. These are the envelopes you're going to use. This is how you're going to do it, and demonstrating it. I was watching that right outside the house. I've seen that I don't know how many times, but even still, I wasn't. I can't believe this is not. I'm really getting ready to do this thing, and I've been preparing for it, but I wasn't. I hadn't had that confidence overcoming thing yet. So I just remember like, man, I don't know, maybe I should cancel this out. Maybe I'm not ready for it, was
Mm.
my feeling. And I said, no, we're gonna go into it. I'm gonna trust it. Trust and see if this is actually real. And I remember going in and met the guy, nice family, and introduced myself and put everything out and laid everything out exactly to the T, literally. I wish I could have videotaped it. And I remember I swabbed the son, and I think the baby came in later, and the baby did not look like the dad of what they didn't. I like it. Hey, this is what it is.
Mm.
And I swabbed them and I put the stuff in, and as I put everything in, I said, "There's nothing left on the table." So, okay, well, I guess that's it. So he paid me in cash, and I walked outside, and I immediately called. I called you immediately. I said, "I need to know what I did wrong." As I see, you said, "Calm down, calm down, calm down. Tell me what happened." I said, "This is what I did." You said, "Okay," and I walked you through every single thing that happened. You're like, "Okay, okay, okay, okay," and I said, "So what did I miss?" You said, "You didn't." I said, "If you did everything you just said, that's it." I said, "No, no, 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 no. There's no way that that's it." You said, "If you tell me that you did this," I said, "Yes, I did." So that's it. Now go do it again. And at that moment, it's like, you got to be kidding me, because I had so many things going on in my head because I was listening to people that were failing and
Mm.
listening to naysayers and people that weren't doing what they were supposed to do. And I was letting that kind of distract me to getting back to what I know, what you said to do, and it happened. And that was the beginning. And now going on my third year, I mean, every I say you should be your prophet. Everything you said to do and what was going to happen, if you stick to it, has happened.
Mm.
Period.
Wow.
So
So now let's reflect on that first year and
mm,
then the second year.
mm,
Okay. So you had a job. I remember you called me. I was at the gym one day and you called me and you said, "That's it. I'm out. I left my job. I'm done. I'm full time, entrepreneur, fingerprinting and DNA testing." Right. So from that moment, you know, what was some of the initial challenges that you faced going full time in that first year? By the way, this is also for me a question for me to listen to because I'm now full-time entrepreneur as of July 2024 and it has
nice.
been a complete journey up and down like oh if this is what you wanted okay here's the
Mhm.
test so please tell me because you did it you started earlier than I did.
I mean, that first year, uh, I mean, it sucked. I mean, it did. I was out money. I mean, I in my life, I'll just kind of put a platform there or a foundation. I had a perfect credit score. Some things happened in my life, and I ended up with like a 300 credit score. I worked my butt
Mm,
off for the next 12 years to get it back to 800.
mm,
I vowed never to get to a point to where I'm living on cutoff notices again, having to go and read prices and all those things. I said I don't want to live that life anymore. I'm gonna do whatever it takes, and I worked my butt off literally to get to a point to where I didn't have to worry about things financially. And then I made a decision to become an entrepreneur and
mm.
quit it.
I just laughing, man. Because
Oh man.
yeah.
So I was paying a lot of money. I had stacked up. I had a cushion, and I
Yeah.
was comfortable. I was very comfy, and I was traveling. I mean, it was nothing I couldn't do. Everything I wanted to do and buy, I was able to do it,
Mm,
and it was nice. But I wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled. I felt like I was dying,
mm,
even with all that going on. I felt like there's got to be something more, but I have the pension, I have the 401k, I have the 6 weeks of vacation, I have the salary, I have the leadership, I have the accolades, I'm recognized, I'm moving up in this company. I have everything I want. I ever work I want it. And I can do what I want to do. I can buy the car, I have the house, I live in the neighborhood, I have all that, but I wasn't fulfilled and I didn't know what it was. And so I decided to jump in. And the first year of doing this, it was like I paid all this money. I'm doing all this money is just going out. Money going out. It's just going, it's going. And I'm getting 1 or 2 calls a month,
Mm,
1 or 2 calls and one appointment, and then 3 calls and price checking. And so the first year, what I have three appointments maybe. And I've paid thousands of dollars at this point because remember, I'm doing fingerprinting
mm,
and that up. I'm also doing paternity at the same time. So, and I was also doing notary at the time. So I have all these expenditures and all these
mm,
things coming out, but it's like there's nothing coming back in to balance that out. So it's like, wait a minute. I'm
mm,
seeing this cushion being let out the window, and I wasn't really comfortable with that at all. And I started second guessing those words, and those demons started to talk like, "Are you sure you want to do all this?
mm,
Are you really sure? Maybe you need to go back and beg for forgiveness." And I remember it was December last year. It was in December, and I remember I was like, man, I had a list of things, and so I wonder what I need to do. And I started going back in and started doing some of those things again, going back to the foundation part. I got away from something. I got some bad habits.
mm,
I went back in. Of course, January is now a good month. February, I got more. March, it was growing, and then April, I was being told by another mentor of mine on the fingerprinting side, you need to go and get you an office now.
mm, mm. Yeah, that was a major, major change for you.
Like what?
Yeah.
So you need to figure out where you're getting your business from because now I'm getting clients. I'm maybe getting 1 or 2 a week now. I'm
Mm,
still working full time, so I can't see anyone until 5 or on the weekends.
mm,
So I'm starting to make a little bit. I mean, it's like okay, all right, this is starting to come in. It ain't where I want it to be, but it's cool. So you need to get you an office. I said I'm not doing that. I said you're not messing. I ain't doing that. I said you need to get your office. I said I'm not doing it. I said you need to get your office. I'm not doing that. So when I got my office, right, after going back and forth, like I'm just gonna go broke. I'm just gonna be outside, and I'm gonna have to start dropping some things and swinging on some poles or something because I don't know what else I'm gonna do.
yeah.
This
Yeah.
payment for the office is a luxury car payment.
Yeah.
The numbers ain't numbering for that.
Hmm.
I say, you know what? I trust you. You're successful. You say do it. You haven't been wrong yet. I'm gonna do it. There's this doggone royal person saying do it. I trust him. Okay, I'm gonna do it. And I got it at the end of
Mm,
April of the second year. And so now I leave my office, one part of the city, drive all the way out, changing clothes in the car, putting my scrubs on, and now I'm here to do business for people that have booked the appointments.
mhm,
And so I did that for the rest of April, and then May started happening. And I'm looking at my numbers; they're steady going. March, April, May. So I get to May, and I look back. Now I'm in June. I'm looking back at May, and it went from April, May,
yep.
June, July. I'm like, what's going on? Said, you're legit now. I'm like, oh. And people started rolling in. They didn't care if it was after 5. I'm like, but I was coming to you before. I was doing everything for you. And it didn't make sense. I'm like, I'm catering to you, but they didn't. And I look back at it like that was hella sketchy. I
Hmm.
mean, we had parking lots and meeting, but I had to do what I had to do. And some people were cool with it, but the majority of people were not. They wanted to know that I was in a place so they can come to see that, okay, let me look at all this stuff and validate you so I can come in and see what's going on. And that's what changed everything for me. And as I started to now go into that rest of that year, now we're into May, June, July. I'm looking at numbers because numbers are numbers. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Why are my numbers the same of what I'm making at my full-time job,
Hmm.
part-time? So what I'm doing 5 to 9, sometimes on the weekends, I'm replacing a salary that I've worked my butt off to get to.
Hmm.
Something ain't right here. And so August of the first year is when I started it. This is now the second August. And a person said it the best. I'd never heard it put this way. He said, "You fired the company." And I did in August of the next year. So it took a year. I got my office in May or April. In August, I quit.
Mhm.
I walked away because now
August
I'm supplementing.
2023 is when you went full time. Yeah, I was gonna say it was around that time. Yeah, like last year you gave me that call. I was in the gym. And mind you, by the way, everybody that's watching this, Roscoe, this is like your third office. This is not your first office. The original office that you got, I always joke with you, is the size of like an interrogation room. Like it was
That's exactly
small, right?
that's exactly what it looked like. I mean, where my desk was and the way the office was shaped, people could sit in front of me,
Yep.
but I had to kind of shimmy around my desk to get around to do the fingerprinting and the paternity testing. If I
Hmm.
had more than my first my first paternity test, they literally had to stand against the wall because I didn't have enough space
Mm-hmm.
for everybody to come in. There was a dad, a mom, and the child, and it's like you we just gonna have to try to make it work. And I mean, I remember just trying to get in and get the, it was like, this is crazy. But it was my first office. Like, this is crazy. I mean, I was still proud of it. I was like, man, it's still on my Google My Business page. It's still up there. And I thought about taking it down. I'm like, no, I need to see that to know
Hmm.
that it was a starting point. And I was so thankful to have that and to see what it's done. And of course, I upgraded right after I quit, because like if I'm gonna be spending more time, I need to have more space. And
Hmm.
so I said, I'm trusting me, I'm trusting my prayer, I'm trusting the answers to allow me to make the difference in the price of the rent. And of course, I didn't look back. And I got a lot more success because it was a lot more easy and I was getting a lot more business in. I was spending a lot more time inside the office, but it was still something that was missing. And another opportunity came, and yeah, here I am with my third one. More money, but I've made up the difference in the amount of clientele I've gotten. So it's like every time I move up, it's like it welcomes more people in. So if there's a story there or a tag, it's like if you don't trust the system, if you don't trust the process, if you don't trust you don't trust whatever your faith is, then you're not gonna make it here. And every single time it's been, I won't say it's been a gamble, but it's been, let me walk out on this thing. Let me just test it and let me taste it and see what it tastes like.
Hmm.
I could always go backwards, but I'm not going to do that. I don't believe that that's it.
I
So
say
things
that,
have come. It's like what it is.
that overhead will light a fire under you.
Oh,
That overhead, it'll be like, okay, well, now I have to take care of some stuff, so I gotta um really make it happen. So now, you're one thing that you specialize in, because with everybody in any business, I think in any business, DNA, fingerprinting, notary, whatever, you can choose to kind of like eventually specialize in a certain either service or a certain offering, right? A certain way that you do things. You specialize in human connection and networking, right? Over these past couple of years, you even the way that, I mean, we can't see it right now, but the way that you have your office set up, I was saying to you before we went live here, it looks like a therapist office because it has a little couch in there and people can sit down and talk to you about how they're feeling about this paternity test or whatever they're got going on.
right.
So what is to you the importance of that human connection and networking as well to basically build your reputation's business?
Yeah, that's good because I didn't know the first thing about networking. I started networking pretty much once I walked away from that 9 to 5. I never networked, not on purpose for business in my life. I didn't know what I was. I signed up for all these different organizations that network, Chamber of Commerce, different organizations. Some join. I just start joining this because I don't know. And I go in and it's the first one I went to. I think it was like 150 people in the room. And I'm supposed to stand up and tell 30 seconds of what I do. Shoot. And I don't remember what I said. I think I kind of blacked out a little bit, but I started to learn a lot about me and what it kind of revealed to me is, do you know enough about what you do? Is there enough confidence? Are you an expert in this arena to be able to talk to someone else intelligently about it and make them want to do business with you or to refer other people to you. And it was tough to learn this new world. I can say that it's been tough, but the reward of it, man, I've met some people that's been absolutely um, inspiring to me and my development as far as connecting me with other people. And now it's like for me, I mean, this is what I wear scrubs with my logo on it everywhere I go. And it hit me one day because I was out somewhere at an event and I had on just a blazer and a shirt and what you go out in to a certain type of events. And I'm going up to people talking to them because I know them. We network together. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, wait a minute, because they don't recognize me. And I said, wait a minute. I'm thinking that they're playing, but no one recognized me outside of what I wear every single day.
Mm,
So I was realized, I said, I've established my brand without even realizing it because now I'm recognizable. Now, anywhere I go now, I've tested it in this last year because I stopped networking so much and started being more strategic with it that at least one person in that room knows who I am. And they're going to
mhm,
spread my information out around everyone else. Do you not know who this guy is? You need to meet this guy. You need to talk to this guy. You need to go and do this, go to this guy's office. You need to go in and all these different things. Like, wow, how about that? So it's not so much of the networking, but it's the focus on building the relationships up.
mm,
If you know how to build the relationship up, not only with people that you're meeting, but the people that you're working with, because I've pretty much relied on Google to feed my business,
mhm,
period. And I'm at the point now where I'm getting referrals from those people that I've done business with before.
mhm,
And that's the biggest reward or accolade you can get if someone that you've done business with is now sending you other business.
mhm,
So I think that's what it is that I've jokingly said, I don't do appointments. I'm sorry, if you want to go to an appointment, you need to go to my competitor. I book experiences. And so I set my appointments for 15 minutes.
mhm,
Or actually, no, I'll take that back. I set my appointments for 30 minutes to 45 minutes, but my time is only going to be 10 because I already know once you come in, we're going to some kind of way get into a conversation. And I've had more people that I've had to extend the time because we get to talking about things that we don't talk about. And I start asking questions because I'm naturally inquisitive about what's going on. And so one of the things I started doing with people is I started asking this question that's been blowing people's socks off. If time was no factor, money was no object, and you wouldn't fail, what would you really do? Would you be doing this still? Would you
mm,
do something else? And I watch people sit back and think. Hmm. So take your time. I said, take your time. You need to get you something to drink. And I
mm,
said, no, no one's ever asked me that. And I hadn't really thought about that yet. So yeah, this is not the business. This is not what I do. I'm not getting paid for that. But that has transformed because people now have taken what that experience was and now they go say, you got to go there. You got to go. I don't care. We got to start sending more people to you. Matter of fact, can you come to us? We'll pay you more. And now I'm driving all over the place. They're passing my competitors for me to go to them or them to come to me. Why? So it's a matter of we can all fingerprint, we can all do paternity tests. It's not anything to
mhm,
it. But what else are you getting from it? I'm trying to pour what I have into. I mean, like this, yeah, these are businesses, but I think they've morphed. I was talking to a group of men this morning at a breakfast. I said my business has morphed more into a ministry than business.
mm,
And I don't know, gift, whatever it is. I said it's just interesting because I'm reaching people in a way that I never anticipated. It's uncomfortable for me. I don't care like that. I'm introverted. But we have these conversations a lot, and even people in this building that I'm in, they come by, they want to come by and just hang out. I'm like, I got another client coming, you got to go. But it's the relationships that are being built, which I think is huge. I mean, yeah, you can do. I mean, to do it, what does it take to do a swab or to type a letter or an email? It's nothing. To roll a fingerprint, it's nothing. But what else are you giving someone? And what are we here for in the first place? We're here to give into each other some kind of way. We're all gifted some kind of way. So in the course of networking and meeting people, that's what I've taken away from it is the relationship building. And you never know what's going to happen. And I've had some people that I've met a long time ago, and some things that's coming in 2025. I said, if half of that stuff even comes to fruition, it's going to be worth everything I've gone through. And it's because of those relationships, those seeds that have been planted learning the business is one thing, but there's a whole different thing that people are missing. When people leave you, yeah, the business has been done, but what else are they leaving with? Why should they send somebody else back out to you? We can all do the same thing,
Mhm.
but why else? And people come to me, no lie, they say, man, who sent you? They said they sent. I said, did they give you all the secrets of what's going to happen? I said, oh yeah, that's why we came here. That's why we drove all the way across town to come here because we already been told and we didn't believe it. Go get a fingerprint, it's fun. Go get a paternity test, and it's actually pleasant.
Mhm.
I said, what was it? And they review me and they write it up. I said, oh, I got to. We got to tell more people about it. This is incredible.
I think that, you know, in recent years, even especially during COVID or as a result of COVID, with COVID, a lot of stuff was very virtual online. You talk on the phone, the customer, it wasn't in person. That's just how it was, right? And a lot of paternity testing business, or at least I started, we started ours at the tail end of COVID. I started mine when COVID was still happening. People were still wearing masks and stuff like that. But in general, in service industry or any type of part of the industry, now that restrictions are over, people want that customer service aspect. They want to feel as though they're having a conversation. They want to feel included. They want an experience so that they can tell their friends about it.
Right.
I mean, heck, I mean, I don't mean to make it about myself right real quick, but just as a quick comparison, we did a prenatal yesterday, strictly off a friend referral.
Wow.
Like just friend referral, prenatal paternity test, paid in full. Boom.
Yeah.
Just 30 to 40% of our customers now are return customers and referrals.
Yeah.
It's not even from Google anymore. 30 to 40, one out of three people are 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 coming. And it's because of the experience that they get when they get to my place, same as yours. When they get to your place, you treat them like a human being. You speak to them, you ask them questions. There's not a glass divider thing, in front of you and them. You give them that experience.
Yeah. And with that, I mean, because it, not that it's in the office only, this is actually out and about. And I don't want to release too much information because I don't know, I don't want to get, dinged or anything for it. But uh, there's a huge company. It's a global company that's in the area that I'm in. And I got asked on a whim because someone else sucked. And they said, hey, can you come by and do this real quick? We're kind of in mind. No, sure, done. And I ended up getting a lot of business from them. To one day I was going by, it was like on a Wednesday, and I went to go do uh, uh, a service for a person, and then like, oh man, we chopping it up a little bit, and it's like, okay, this is cool. And so the next day I went to go do another guy, and it's like, oh, this is cool, and all of a sudden all three of us were there, and we're all kind of just a little banter, and I mean, we're kind of like hanging out. I mean, the service is done, and come to find out, this was a global CEO of this company that was
Mm,
it,
mm,
and the other guy was the North American president of this company.
mm.
I was thinking, I said, oh, good Lord, what did I say to these people? Because this is the kind of person that you have to have security around you at all times. Kind of
Mm,
person. It's like, what just happened? It hit me. It's like, wait a minute. They keep bringing me back and
mhm,
paying me a lot of money to come back. So I think if I would have known who he was, I probably would not have been so, interactive like that or personable. I probably would have been on my P's and Q's. But I think people love the idea, like you said, people don't talk anymore. They text. They
mhm,
PM you.
mhm.
They use these codes and whatnot that you have to decipher. And it's like, so to actually have a conversation, I think people are missing it.
It's
And
refreshing.
to come to I mean, I set my office up. You say it looks like a counseling set because people come in and it's like, I want you to be comfortable. I want the
Mhm,
experience to be something that you're not going to expect. It's a dark thing, but if you decide to go somewhere else, it's going to suck, is my
mhm,
idea. I'm going to treat you so well and make sure that
mhm,
we're doing everything for you that I can anticipate that you're going to need because I pay attention to those things that try to go somewhere else and you're going to be very miserable with it to see what you're not getting. And it's going to scream. And
mhm,
I've had that happen a few times. People say, "Yeah, we were in a bind, and yeah, we had to fire them. We're not going to be unloyal to you ever again."
mhm.
Cool. Well,
Even I've been to your second office, and even going in there, plant, stuff on the wall, plaques, your stuff on the wall, certificates, and then you had the aromatherapy going to where it also is a light
Yeah.
not too overpowering scent, nice, clean, crisp, light scent, to where people are going to go there and their olfactory senses are going to remember that experience.
Right.
It smelled good. The guy was nice. I got my results in a
Yeah.
timely fashion within 48 hours or something like that, right? And there was a plant and he had books and there was some light jazz playing and we spoke. Man, you know what?
Yeah.
They're going through for paternity specifically, right? Fingerprinting is more of just a, whatever, right? They're just getting this thing done. But paternity, it's I'm going through some of the worst moments of my life right now. I have been betrayed, or I feel as though I've been betrayed, or I have betrayed someone,
Mhm.
or somebody has be there's a situation going, right? And we got to get to the bottom of well, at least you're their Virgil. If you ever read Dante's Inferno, the guy guiding them through the nine circles of hell, guiding them through, making sure that they're squared away. You are that person. We are those people to
Yeah.
guide them through. So thank you so much for understanding the importance of that and doing it your own way. I didn't tell you to do that in the course.
No.
You just did that your own way.
I had no
So
idea what was even going to happen. And you're right. There are people that come in, young ladies, and I had to start realizing, I started paying attention to it, that for the first time in probably whatever length of time, there's a gentleman or there's a male that's not looking for them for something specific.
mhm,
I'm here to give you perspective, and I'm not looking for anything back from you. You ask me a question, I'm gonna give you the honest truth.
mhm,
And I've seen that change, and I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't been encouraged in a long time. I don't know what it's like to be uh, giving words of affirmation or tell
mhm,
me it's going to be okay, things are going to be moving forward. I haven't had that before.
mhm,
And on the other side, the gentlemen, they made a decision. They're scared, they're frightened. They're like, man, my life is about to change. I'm not ready for this. Yes, I've been there before. We've all been there. And when I start to express, like, hey, this is my situation. I don't have to tell you that. So I get it. I know exactly what you're thinking to an extent. Like, I'm not
mhm,
a mind reader. I said, but this is I can kind of feel your level of anxiety. I can see it. But this is what we need to do. I said, man, if and I offered, if you want to talk, let's talk. I
mhm,
said, don't think that you're out here alone in a situation. I don't have to offer that stuff. I said, man, you have any money, I'll let you. Refer some people to me. But I think it's more than that. I think as a person and a person that believes and has faith that we have an obligation to reach out to people that are broke. These people are broken.
mhm,
There's a darkness there, and I'm going and I'm doing what I have to do on Sundays and Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And I get a chance to give that information back. And I'm like, why am I going? Why am I meeting with these people? These older men that are believers. Why am I doing that for? And now I met with them this morning. I said, wow, it's hit me that y'all are speaking to my clients without realizing it. The wisdom that you're giving me, that I'm hearing, it doesn't help me out right now, but what you just said, oh, this, wow, that's perfect for this person right here. And I'm able to give it to them and watch that light come on. And so I think that's what is more rewarding. Yeah, we want to get paid, duh.
mhm.
But it feels better. I mean, there's something that's gratifying inside that's now growing, and it's like I'm anxious to get more and turn more lives around. And that's what the focus is, because they're focusing on the money. It's not going to come like that. It's just not.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the day to have the 10 grand a month. This
It'll happen.
when is that? I mean, that's granted. I mean, I've had some stellar months,
Yeah.
but I mean, everybody can. Oh, I just want to make 10,000 a month. Blah 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 blah. Every business I do it. No, it's not going to happen like that because the focus is not on the right thing. There's a
Mhm,
quality,
mhm.
and I think that's how I'm growing is because people are seeing the authenticity and they're writing these amazing reviews, and people are reading those things. Like
Mhm.
I, I saw you, so I need to go nowhere else. I got to come here.
Mhm.
And now that I have, well, I don't know how far we're gonna go, but I took time to create my first website.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
Uh,
wanted to
I wish
actually.
I wish I was where you can put a slide of the old one that I had, like a photo
I
of it
know the
somewhere.
old one was so let's talk about that. Let's talk about that real quick. So so
Ooh-wee.
Roscoe, I was gonna make an individual YouTube video about this. I might still do it, but listen, y'all, look, for those that starting off at their DNA testing company or whatever, if whatever you're doing, notary, whatever you're doing, right? Your website does not have to be extremely intricate to start. to start off with. It can Roscoe, your website, I always joke, it looked like it was from like the .com bubble era, right? 1999, 2000, 2001, 2002. It wasn't that great. And I even helped you build it. It actually wasn't that great. But what what do you think? What do you think? Tell the people, Roscoe, what do you think got you those sales? Was it your website or was it something else that got you the sales that you needed?
No, yeah, I wouldn't still be in business if it was about the website, period.
Yep.
I literally, within the last few weeks, published my new website. So we're
Mhm.
2 years in, and I'm just now creating a website that's worth mentioning. And I had people call me as they were on the phone looking at my website.
Yep.
And I was so embarrassed, like, are you looking at that?
Yeah.
You're referencing that thing, huh? Oh man, okay. But you're right. I mean, I for where I was at the time, and I was still getting called. People were calling me every day. So it wasn't so much
Keep talking. I'm just this is now Roscoe's. This is your website, right?
yeah. It
This
wasn't so
is
much, it wasn't so it was bland. It was basic. I had nothing on there, but I did other things. I built the Google page up. I answered the phone. I
hmm
answered the questions. I sound like I knew what I was talking about. And people booked appointments.
hmm
They didn't call me and say, "Oh man, your site sucks so much, but I'm gonna give you a chance." No. It was like, I need to know when I can get in. Do you know what you're talking about? You're answering the questions. Are you making me feel comfortable?
hmm
Then we're going to give you the business. And that's just what it was. I mean, attorneys were calling me. I was getting business from all over the place. People were calling me and I don't know what they were looking at, but they were calling. But
hmm
I answered the phone. I mean, I think that it goes without saying. I pick it up. They call. I don't know who's going to be here, whether it's going to be spam or not. I'm answering it. And if I can answer the question for you, if I can give you the confidence, if I can make sure that you feel comfortable, then by all means, come on in. Let's go and get you taken care of. And
Answering the phone, y'all, it's just
that's what
every
I'm doing.
single time. It is so critical to the operation of your business and to think about it. There's dozens of other paternity testing companies that are springing up on the internet all the time. And either people that have been doing even there are people that before paternity university that have been operating DNA companies that have not answered the phone in 5 years, right? And then there's the new batch of people who started it, because this was the thing they saw on YouTube, right? And thought it was great, it was cool, they're going to make a lot of money, and then they abandoned that project after they set up on Google, so they're not going to answer the phone ever. So
Yeah.
now the public perception is, if more companies are not answering the phone, people are thinking, what is up with DNA testing? Is this a scam? DNA testing as a whole,
Yep.
completely, like the entire industry, because of some folks that may not answer the phone. But if you answer that phone and offer great customer service and then offer them an experience,
Mhm.
oh, you will set yourself apart. I want to reiterate that all of our goals should be, well, in my opinion, if you can become known as the reputable DNA paternity testing consultant in your city, you'll be good to go. You'll be if you could become DFW Paternity Solutions. They are the go-to place for paternity testing in the Dallas Fort Worth area of 4 million something people, and they have been known for that for the past 25 years.
Yeah. It's and I don't know. I mean, with that, what's been interesting and not to segue, but
Sure.
related. I don't know how the heck it's been happening, but we're talking about building relationships up, and we're talking about having a presence and being in the area an expert. I've been having people calling me from nowhere, from all over the place, saying, "Hey, can I pick your brain? Hey, would you be open to mentoring?" I'm like, "Oh, I
Hmm.
don't. Who are
Who
you?"
are you? They're finding you. That's good.
And it's like it's weird. They said no one else would talk to me. I said, I don't care. I mean, if you want to talk, we can talk. And I've had
Hmm.
people actually have brick and mortar businesses that saying, "Hey, do you mind if we set up a time where we can talk?" Sure, why not? I didn't create all this stuff. Someone
Hmm.
taught me.
Hmm.
I said, I'm not, and people said that would they said that's crazy that you would be willing to talk. I said, the statistics show there are 8 million people in DFW.
Hmm.
I can't even do a percent of that.
Oh, I had it wrong. I had it wrong. I was off by half. I said 4 million. Wow. Well,
If DFW is one of, I think it's number three right now behind
Uh,
in LA. DFW is huge. It's huge.
it's huge, yes,
All
and
these
growing.
metros, it's but
Yeah.
so I'm like I said my thing is again the relationship building. I said, hey, if I bring you in, I said let's show because I may be on vacation. It's going to happen. Here's a place I can trust, and I can put you and direct people to you. If something happens, you can. I mean, we don't have to be just because we're here to make money to be at odds. So let's build this thing up. And these are people that are in the area. Some people are from out of town. I said, I don't. I may have someone that may need to do a paternity test in your area, or you may have somebody that needs to be collected down here. I'm
Hmm.
not afraid of opening up my arms because let's create something together. I mean, I can't do it all myself. I don't plan on doing it.
Hmm.
So I think that's another thing, not being afraid to ask questions. I mean, I applaud. I say, at least you call.
Hmm.
It's honest, I'm going to be calling you too.
Hmm.
I don't know everything. I know some of the questions, but if I don't know the answer, I know where I can go get it. And I think that's what it is. People are so afraid and they want to gatekeep so much. Oh, this is mine, and well, you can have something. What do you want to know that I can give you? And I'm not going to give you everything. I'm not
Yeah,
stupid, but
not all the secret sauce. Yeah,
I'm gonna give you a little bit. I mean, to try to help you out based off where you are. I'll
right.
answer a few, questions, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But let's build a relationship up
So,
from
I
there.
mean, in a sense, you've spoken to this person as well, but my mentors, Donald, did the same
Mhm.
thing for me when I was
Yeah.
just, I was like, oh my God, what do he answered? And then, I was able to get his information to you, and you were able to talk to him when you needed to be like, what do I do? How do I make this operation a little bit bigger? And so it's all, that sharing of that knowledge, that's all within the Paternity University community as well. Even
Yeah.
just sometimes, you'll pick up the phone, call me, I'll pick up the phone, call you, etc. It's all in that sharing information. So, wrapping up, um, what's your plans for 2025, man? What's You don't have to divulge all of them, but what do you see your paternity and fingerprinting business? You can start with paternity doing in 2025.
I'm what so go, even just going back to December of last year, a year ago, December. Um, I'd already gone through one December, now I'm in the second December, and I was like, man, I mean, I was like, I was ready to start driving Uber. It had gotten so slow.
Mm,
And I mean, I had a pretty good year, but it's like at December, like poof, everything just kind of dropped. I'm
mm.
like, crap. I mean, that is the honeymoon over? Is this really it? And I don't have them with me, but I have my binder. I have my Royal Banks binder. I still have it. And
Taking notes in that joint forever.
I say I have to do something. And I literally created all these things I needed to do my to-do list for the day. And in the beginning was to go back through and review the notes and the things to make sure I really hit every single thing. But the bottom of that was look up Uber prices, look up Lyft prices, look at temporary places, seasonal places. I literally was going to start calling around.
Mm,
And I happened to go and I spoke with a person I met networking. And they said, hey, would you like to talk to one of our attorney friends that I have? Sure. I sat in there and I talked to him for a little bit, and then he looked at my card because he's checked out. He's getting ready to go on a trip, so he's like, "Yeah, I'll talk to him. I'll appease you." But he looked at my card and he said, "Oh," and I remember he sat back in his chair and he was looking. He said, "Oh, you're mobile." I'm like, yeah. So, oh, so you can come here? Yeah. Hmm. What you do? Deceased DNA? Yeah, I know how to do it. He said, I have a case that's been going on for 6 months, and I'm like, why? Said they said that's how long it's been. And I said, who's doing it? What's going on? I said, wait a minute. And I started asking some questions because what I've learned through Paternity University. And I said, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Said, yeah. I said, that should have been done in week, 2 weeks. He was like, I said, oh my God. And I said, I've listened to Miss Jewel explain how much she charges for prenatal,
mhm,
what she charges for DNA, and how much she charges for deceased.
mhm,
And I ain't even offering that. I mean, I'm offering it, but I ain't even pushing it. Nobody even knows I do it.
mhm,
And from that moment, I shut everything out and I started creating content. Like I mean, I was going all in. I'm on the phone with your mama, and she's probably like, I ain't answering this phone no more. I mean, I'm just creating stuff, and dude, I mean, that changed everything. So now from that December where I was getting ready to say, you know what, maybe this entrepreneur thing, it was fun. I had my best month in January, the next month.
Mm, the
I had
next
my
month.
best month in February. I had my
Mm,
best month in March. I had my
mm,
best month in April. It started to, it's like, because now all of a sudden, the person I was speaking with is he does immigration, he does probate, he does family law, he does all these things
mm.
that both businesses actually cater to. And he said, "Do you have a card?" And I gave him a box of cards at that point.
Box of cards. That's right.
Long story short is that I found out from the person that told me to go to him. Yeah, because he's a part of an organization that has, I think, like 3,000 people in it.
Mm,
It's cool. So yeah, but he's the president.
hmm
President. And I just knocked his socks off. And I ain't even done that
And you
yet.
didn't
I
even
just
know
don't
who
want to
he
offer.
was in the beginning. When you always represent the brand, when you're always representing the brand, or rather, go ahead.
Stuff starts, I mean,
It works.
that's
Yeah, it starts working.
because all of a sudden it's like, whoa. So I said all that to say 2025. The one thing I was missing was my presence on social media. I've
Mm,
done everything else. I've created all these. I'm going around. I'm handing out. I got flyers for days. I mean, I've
yep.
created. I have these for. I went through everything I offer and I individualized them. And this year, what I worked on, I'm not waiting till December. I started working on stuff September, October, November.
Hmm
So now the website's done. Now I have other literature. I'm digital. Now I have 10 platforms. And now my presence is now growing. Now it's easier for that attorney or attorneys or the firm or firms to now take the information and digitally send it out to people.
Yep.
Now all I got to do is just make sure that you know where to go to get it. And I've been networking and meeting people that are in the area place that I want to specialize in. There are certain products that I offer that I want to make sure that those people know exactly. And I've been getting invited to places because of relationships I built that I would never have gotten invited to. And all of a sudden, they're like, if you're here with us,
hmm
who are you?
hmm
All of a sudden, let's set up a time to go talk about it. Come by the office and check it out. And I lure them in here to this web. I said, this is where your clients are going to be experiencing. Because when you think about a person that does DNA testing or a person that does, when you think about some crammy and not really the best environment, I say, yeah, come check it out. Come
hmm
here and now see exactly how your clientele is going to be treated. If you come here, or I can come to you either way, it doesn't matter to me. But I want to show you or give you a demonstration. So now you have a visual. Now go talk to the rest of your attorney friends
hmm
and tell them this is what we have going on. So there are some things that are in place that I'm working on. 2025, I have some high expectations because I have been out here with bags of seeds, spreading them bad boys out
hmm
and fertilizing them and watering them in the crop. I'm ready to see what's going to happen. I can't wait to have a reunion Zoom, YouTube interview like this again next year. I can't wait
I
because
think I think here's what
if
I
if things
predict.
don't happen, it's gonna be scary.
Here's what I predict is going to happen for you, right? You say you've been planting the seeds, and so now that you have that digital presence, what's going to happen? I think you're gonna have some explosive growth from 2024 into 2025. It's going to be crazy. But what's really going to happen is in 2026, in 2027. That's when it's going to be like, what in the world? You're going to become known as that person in DFW. I have a feeling that's going to happen because you've been putting in the work now for going into your third year. That third year, I really that's when like more magic happens. But I swear, I think in that fourth year for you, man, it's going to be like astronomical exponential. I'm really looking forward. Maybe we'll do one of these every other year for you, and just be like, what are you up to now, man? And I want to do that for other students as well, because we got other students that are doing incredible things
Yeah.
in their areas, Nashville, Boston, Atlanta, Houston, Jersey, like incredible things. So, Roscoe, man, thank you so much for getting back on to do this call with me, man. The first one was great, and it's so great to see you 2 years later, still getting after it and systemizing and establishing yourself and offering that phenomenal customer service, man. That is what it's all about. So thank you for doing that.
I can say, I mean, this is where I think I mentioned it to you as I was booking it. When I was booking it, I got that return back from Paternity University. I hadn't had one of those in a long time, besides when I did my first call with you. And I remember, I don't know if I ever told you, I said, man, I was terrified to have me and you on the call and there's no one else, no other distractions. It was a transparency moment, like, I don't have nowhere to run. If I don't raise my hand up, then he ain't gonna call on me. But it was that thing that you did that pushed this thing forward. So I don't know what everybody else is experiencing in the direct coaching, but I can say that being on the call right now, I remember those moments like, man, this guy will go like he can be looking me dead in my face and shoot. Hey,
Nowhere to run. I'm going to ask you
I
these
want to,
questions.
how can I turn this internet off and kick something? But I can tell you that, man, if it had not been for you even offering it and doing those things and having the foresight to know where I was trying to go. I don't know how you knew, but you know I was trying to go and you just put those things out, like those carrots out where I can just grab them and have some success, but some far enough away where I had to run and catch up a little bit. If it hadn't been for that, I wouldn't be here. So I just want to make sure that that's understood that what you did and have done and what you're going to be doing, 'cause there's some things coming for you as well. There's no doubt, but I appreciate it. I mean, it's going on 3 years, which is crazy to me. It's 3 years. And if you had not made that video and you kind of were braggadocious, I answered the phone on the beach, shirt off, and I made.
I was on my honeymoon. I was actually on my
Yeah,
honeymoon. And yes,
you had not said that. But think
I
about
had to
that.
do the shirt off on the beach with my chain on, my wife in the background, like on the beach. And I'm like, yeah, because that's how you reel people in, unfortunately. You know,
You had not done that, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I mean, that's just what it is. So you just never know.
mm,
So whatever you're doing, I, you never know what you're saying, how it's going to affect people.
mm,
And I would just say, man, well, let's just get out here. I mean, don't be afraid to open up your mouth and either ask or provide information. I hope this helps. I mean, I don't know. This is just my life. Like I say, your life is your life. We all look up to you and what you're doing. You're trailblazing it. I don't know. I mean, I'm just me, but I've been able to help people, and I'm thankful for what they're getting. Even though it doesn't seem like it's a big deal to me, it's a big deal to somebody else, and that's what's most important. What am I doing for somebody else and about me? So,
Roscoe, thank you so much, man, for joining. We continue to have our conversations one on one throughout the year. But I can't wait at the end of 2026 to interview you
my
again and see the incredible things.
right. You
Uh,
said you said 2026, right? 'Cause when you say
yeah,
stuff, it comes to
let's do this again, December 2026, God willing.
shoot. Well, yeah, if I hadn't moved out of the country, you may speak that. If I ain't gone yet,
Hey,
sure.
I might have to hit you up by satellite phone if you're somewhere in wherever you are, right?
There you go.
But we'll have this conversation again. So thank you so much. Hey everybody, look, this is a real life example, a real person that got the private coaching and followed the blueprint to the T and then developed his own. That's what it's all about. That's exactly what I want you all to do. So if you're existing students, if you're private coaching students, if you're a prospective private coaching, because I'm not going to really be doing the self-paced, I'm going to be just only doing private coaching from now on. Um, this is proof right here. All right. So I'm going to post a link to his other video, and you guys watch it. Thank y'all so much. Go to paternityuniversity.com where you can check out the private coaching link and then book a strategy session call with me. And until next time, peace.